Some of you may or may not know the T app. The woman-only app just got hacked by IBZ. Or IBS. I don't know how you would pronounce that. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, basically it was an app designed for women to use to protect other women from men that are red flags. Too bad that that app was not used the way that people intended to. It wasn't used the way. Basically, you could just take a picture of a dude, upload it, and like just lie about the dude. And people could just comment and just lie about the dude. Wasn't even hacked. The way their data was stored made them basically public. Yes, it was basically a public domain. You could just access it. So yeah, we'll just jump into it.
There has been some really big leaks around this T app that just recently came out.
Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. We'll continue.
For those of you that don't know, the T app is a dating app where women go on this app to talk about men in their area. Yes, this is a woman's only app. You have to send in a photo of your driver.
And yes, my girlfriend did go onto that app, and basically she just said there's a bunch of very, what's the word? What would you say? There's a bunch of very bitter women on there. Like it made my woman uncomfortable, so she uninstalled again. Cut the intro, just spill the tea.
Driver's license in order to get approved onto the app. You can probably already see where this story is going to be going downhill. There's two major problems with this app. One, it's a woman's only app, so they go on here, talk about men, and the men have no way to get on to contest or to defend themselves. So a woman can go on this app and just completely lie to all the—
Yeah, and fun fact, it was #1 in the United States. You gotta be insanely delusional.
Other women on the app in your area, and you have no way to clear your name. Unless you have like a woman on the app or like a sister, girlfriend, something like that. If not, then congratulations.
I mean, it is essentially the same as, what's the word? It is the same as there's like Facebook groups or something, right? Are we dating the same man kind of thing? I guess that's the purpose of it, to be honest.
Congratulations, you're a rapist, because a woman who's mad at you could just go on this app and tell everybody around that you did that. There could be other things like gossiping, sharing secrets that shouldn't be shared, and, you know, just stuff like that. But, you know how I said that you required a driver's license in order to get on this app to prove that you're a woman? Well, it turns out a lot of these women's driver's license got leaked by a 4chan hacker and got posted.
Also, isn't it just funny how that just goes to prove that, you know, if you have this kind of app and you need to upload your ID, how easy it is to hack this stuff? Well, it's not hacked. It was technically public, regardless. But that doesn't that just go to show that uploading your ID to websites and places where you know for a fact they're not deleting the stuff, doesn't that just show how stupid the idea is of you need to verify your age via ID or driver's license or stuff like that?
All over 4chan. Both driver's license and face identification photos have been leaked off this app. Driver's license and face pics, get the fuck in here before they shut it down. T-App uploads all user verification submissions.
Wait a minute. Let me look at the women. Let me look at the women. Is this a psyop? Do they really want to make me also, why you're sensing the eyes? Like, that's the least prominent feature. That doesn't matter. Also, is that bait? Is that the real women on there? These women get play? These women go on dates? Bro, these ladies live on easy mode if they get dates. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. I don't believe that kinda.
Identification photos have been leaked off this app. Driver's license and face pics, get the fuck in here before they shut it down. TApp uploads all user verification submissions to this public Firebase storage bucket with the prefix attachments. Yes, if you sent TApp your face and driver's license, they doxed you publicly. No authentication, no nothing. It's a public bucket. I have written a Python script which scrapes the bucket and downloads all the images page by page, so you can see if you're in it. The censoring and pic were added by me. The images in the bucket are raw and uncensored. Nice anonymous app. This is what happens when you entrust your personal information to a bunch of vibe coding DEI hires.
I wish there's vibe coding. That's funny. There's even a site that you slap a photo in and it will tell you if the woman was in TApp or not. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
I won't be replying to this or making any more threads about it. I did my part. God bless you all. Regards, Annette. Now, I don't know how true this is because in all honesty, I'm not going to trust a link from 4chan. But what I can gather from this is that it's an anonymous app where women can go on here anonymously and talk about men, which is even worse because now you don't even know which women are talking about you. I mean, could you imagine your sister going on this app and seeing random anonymous women making claims against you that aren't true? I mean, I'm not against an app where people in general get to go on with their actual public information and talk about, you know, let's say a new sex offender got into the neighborhood and put that on the app. There is an app that does this. It's called...
Yeah, sure. I don't see any issue with that. Fine. That's fine. But the app was used for that. Just like... There was also a male version of this, right? It got taken down because then it was eventually used for revenge porn. Also not good. Same problem. Just unhinged people. It's just... If the app was actually used for what it was set, which, you know, you put guys on there that actually have... You actually have reliable data that shows that they are evil, then that would be a different situation, right? You go on a date with a guy, the guy gets physical, right? You have proof that he got physical, you can put him on there, fine, go ahead, I don't care. But you post a picture of a dude, you say a bunch of shit, you can't have no way of verifying that what you're saying is true. That could go tasty into some, I think, if it's written, it's libel, right? Not defamation? Yeah. Like, the hub, requiring of identification. Like, if I really want to goon so bad, I'll just use my imagination instead. If, you know, touch grass and find a person who's interested. I feel like identification for corn websites is a good thing. I think that's a good thing. In some way, that you can verify your age. I don't think it's a good thing for social media. I don't think it's a good thing for YouTube. I don't think it's a good thing for Wikipedia, as they want to do it. Yes. You will eventually, if Wikipedia loses their case, you will need to verify your age to access Wikipedia. Or Spotify is another one that they're adding. Really interesting.
The Nextdoor app. But I do have a problem with the woman's only app where they post and talk about other men with their face and name and everything. I mean, how is that fair? What if men did this to women? Oh wait, a man did start an app for that where men did get to discuss red flags on women and women did not.
Box score. Box score is crazy. That is crazy. Helping men date safe. Yo, this woman is run through.
Enjoy this. Introducing BoxScore, a man-only app where users anonymously share info and warnings about women to spot red flags and get feedback. I hope the men get lonelier. Why is it okay for women to do it, but not for men to do it? I'm not saying it's okay for anybody to be doing this, but
I think neither is a good idea. I think neither is a good idea if it's not genuinely used for what you're saying it's going to be used. And it needs strong moderation for that to work. I don't think either of these would have strong moderation. I also think that box score was just a joke. I think, if I remember correctly.
But all of a sudden when men do it, it's a problem, right? Gender equality until men want to be just as cautious around women as women are around men. I honestly saw...
Yeah, I think as far as I'm aware, female Uber drivers can request not serving men, funnily enough. But male Uber drivers cannot request not serving women. I find that very icky. You know what? Just let them do. Just let both do it. Just let that happen for both. That would be equality of choice. I don't know.
Saw something like this coming in the near future, though. Like, there was this one post about somebody talking about how you should be able to review other people's dating profiles, like leaving like a restaurant review. Like, oh, this person cheated on me, or this person ghosted me after a week, or this person has a boyfriend and you should be wary.
It's because he's married. How do you know he's married?
Of that. So I already expected something like this to come out, but also with that idea, I mean, how many times have you seen something get review bombed by some salty customer that was actually in the wrong? Don't you think that could happen to somebody's dating profile, or, you know, getting posted on T? I also didn't expect this to come in.
I mean, yeah, you could technically, you know, do that, right? You could post somebody's face on social media and be like, yo, this guy's a retard. And then like, yeah, let's give him. I hope men get lonely is like saying, okay, let's allow the human race slowly die off because fuck that person's depression. Basically is what it is. That's basically what it is. They accidentally spilled the tea. Well, yeah. That's very accurate. It was basically just open. You could have just the guy that did it just wrote a Python script that made it possible to download everything. Basically, the people that were coding this app did no safety precautions, nothing, and the stuff was not even deleted. The pictures, like the driver's licenses and IDs.
In a gender segregated way. Like, I didn't think that, like, if people were reviewing dating profiles, I didn't think it'd be segregated by gender. I thought there would at least be a way for people to have healthy discourse and, you know, dispute lies and stuff like that. Christine.
I mean, if you could do that, right? There's people who review dating profiles on apps, right? And I've seen it. When a woman rates a guy, it's like totally fine, right? When a guy rates a woman, he's totally being bombarded. It's really funny. It's really funny. It's illegal in some countries. Okay.
And hey, you probably heard of it, so my roommate showed me your T app profile. You're cute, but I don't think we're a good match. I'm pretty liberal. Man, so this guy, what, he voted for Trump and got posted on here for that? Twitter users are comparing this to
I would be so cooked if I got on. I could never. The thing is, I know a guy, and I've seen a guy on TikTok as well, that basically he just acts liberal so he can sleep with women, and then slowly but surely just unravels who he really is. It's so evil, but it's so funny. It's so evil, but it's so funny. It's so odd. And before you come at me, it's a white dude. It's actually a black dude, which is even funnier. Man, now I have a hidden social credit score like they're in China. This is the most insane and neurotic thing I've ever seen. What the fuck are we doing?
and having some kind of hidden social credit score. I feel like there's a little bit of issue with this. Not in the screenshot shown. I feel like this woman's valid to have her own opinion on what political takes she wants her partner to have. You know, each person has their own right to their own opinion on what they want their partner to have. But I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of guys out there that struggle getting laid.
Hashtag number one, feminists. Okay. Feminist approved interest. Excessive use of the adjective gross. That's interesting. Blame the patriarchy, not feminism, little bro. I think, hot take, I don't think there's a patriarchy. I think there's a dominator system in place that dominates everyone that is weaker. It doesn't matter who's in power. When they have power, they will dominate who's weak. We can see that in some statistics looking at, for example, female managers and how they treat women even worse. Fun fact. There is no patriarchy. We live in a dominator system. Misandry isn't a thing. Yes, it is. You should call out misogynistic behavior in your friend groups. That gets you eventually kicked out of the friend group. Feminism helps men too, you know. Can't agree with that one because I haven't seen that one yet. Where? Please show me. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. All men are predators until proven otherwise. Okay. It's just like 0 point something percent, but okay. I gotta stop mansplaining, saying not all men, it's gross. Oh, I also love this part, right? When they say like, they don't mean all men when they say all men. I find that really funny. You know why? You know what happens when people say all Muslims are terrorists? People say, you're so wrong for that. You're evil for that. Oh, but it's the exact same principle. That's weird. That's why I'm for not making generalized statements, because the actions of individuals are the actions of individuals, not an entire group. We had that before in 1933. Always talking about positive masculinity. What is that? Male guilt is part of the process, bro. Nah. Believe all women. Nah. And guilty until proven innocent. That also no. I'm good.
And so in order to get laid, they adopt these feminist ideologies. There's gonna be a lot more of those guys out there, and they're super fucking annoying. Like, there's gonna be a whole lot more guys out there that are like, no, I promise, I swear, I believe that you should be able to abort your 9-month-old baby, please. Don't put me on the T-app, please. And while I do think the woman in the screenshot is valid for
I also think, and that's just my opinion, that a lot of these dudes are creepy. A lot of these dudes are creepy. I'm just gonna say it. Like, oddly creepy. Something, like, it's just something is off. Why do you hate yourself so much? I don't think somebody that hates themselves that much can make me feel uncomfortable. This video reminded me of Roma Army. She's a men's rights activist. I know Roma Army too. She's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
Having her own opinion, women are trying to pretend like this isn't like some kind of dystopian reality.
Men don't actually want women to pick better. Yes, we do want you to pick better. I can see dudes with red flags as a man from 10 kilometers away. For some odd reason, women can't do that. I don't know. When women say, oh, it's my, like, women's intuition, that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Because actually, men do that too. I think most people nowadays, they chase the dopamine instead of actually finding a partner that suits them.
Like, men don't actually want women to pick better. That would be the case if women weren't liars. I'm not saying all women are liars, but there's not a demographic on the face of the earth that doesn't have a liar in it. Like, you think on this app that's full of women, anonymous women, that have no responsibility to their word, are not gonna come on this app and lie? You think there's a 0% chance of that happening? Like, if you're basing your opinion on a man off of an anonymous woman that could easily be lying on some app that's full of other women, and you think that's you picking better, then I think you're kind of stupid. And the page for this app on the App Store is so lame, bro. Like, avoid dating red flag men. He ghosted me. It's because he's married. Should I date Ethan?
It's just like, it just doesn't make sense. Hi, Alexia. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hi. It just doesn't make sense. People should pick better in general.
My friend saw him out with another girl, and so I understand why women want this, but why were they upset when men wanted to do the same? Like, don't you want everybody, men included, to date safe? Unless that's not what the actual app is for, and it's for spreading false rumors and spreading gossip. Now, I know you might have a question. Well, as a man, can I not just say I'm a woman and get on the app, and if I get rejected, I can just claim the app is being transphobic? And yes, you can. Apparently
Cheated the system. Cheated the system. Found the man. Where's the man? I need to check. Where's the man? Not there, homie. Homie said, I'm a woman. Let me in. There's the dude. It could be a dude too.
there was a transgender person on here, biological man, and I mean, if you show them your driver's license, it's gonna say man on it, but I guess they somehow got past. Maybe if you dye your hair and put on some makeup, they'll let you slide. I mean, you might have to send in a report ticket and prove that you're somehow transgender. I don't know how you would do that, but you could probably get through if you was sneaky enough.
You're trying to sneak on the woman app. I don't know how bro got in there, but it's funny.
Now, the women who got exposed, do you think that they deserve this? Me personally, I don't think two wrongs make a right, but I do think it's kind of ironic karma. Men had their business put out there, possibly even false allegations, you know, could be even include details of where they work, and now these women get their entire driver's license posted, which, you know, has basically everything.
I mean, it is a form of justice in a way. A comedic justice. You post people on there and talk possibly bad about them. Maybe something's true, who knows? I mean, there might be some women who genuinely used it in the right way, right? That might have happened. And now your own shit is out there. And they literally made a map, by the way. They literally made a map. You can look for that person.
Like, you know, address. They then were able to take this information and put it into a map, and they have everybody's address on this map. Now, I think this is a little bit too far. This is kind of messed up. People were doubting the authenticity of the map, saying that, you know, it only shows based off of the city, and some people are saying it's clusters, which, you know, I found the link to the map myself.
What is that? Is that a mermaid? Both sides are wrong. Absolutely. This such an app should not even even exist in the first place. Bro is in the ocean. Fucking mermaids on there.
So for science, and yeah, it's not accurate. Like, it doesn't show direct addresses. It only tells you if somebody in your city is using this app. Which, if you live in a pretty big city, that's probably guaranteed. Like, notice how here in Philadelphia, there's just like one pin per suburb, which makes me glad. I don't think these women deserve to have their address posted on here like they're on like some kind of sex offender registry for what they did. I think that's going a little too far. I just feel like apps like this would just fuel the gender war even more that we're already at. I mean, men are already starting to approach women less and less.
Yep. Men don't approach women anymore. It's not just that. I think like by 2030 we'll probably reach a time where 50% of young men, like men between like 18 and 24, 25, have not ever approached a woman, ever. And I would probably say that even at 30, I would at least say half of them still haven't approached a woman, ever. Not only that, I've seen plenty of posts of men avoiding like being alone with women. Like, there was a dude who avoided being in an elevator with a woman. Like, he just waited for the next one, even though he could have taken this one, which is crazy, right? When we're at the point where dudes avoid being alone with women in an elevator, we're cooked, like, genuinely. And then there's women who write articles about where did all the men go. You made them avoid you. They're no longer interested. High risk, no reward. Anime girls and gacha games took all the men. Anime girls, gacha games, and in the future, AI girlfriends.
And women are starting to actually get upset about it, but I feel like an app like this would just have men approach them even less. I don't want to seem like a creep. I don't want to have a meeting with HR. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to get put on the T app. Remember, like 20 years ago, it was the worst she could say is no. Nowadays, is the worst she could do is put you on the T app.
The worst she can do is spray you with gasoline and throw a cigarette at you, so you go up in flames. That's the worst she could do.
But yeah, this shit got hacked by some guy on 4chan, and apparently it wasn't even hard for him to hack. He said it was on a public Firebase storage bucket, which makes it sound like it's public information. All the 4chan freaks wasting their time exposing women on the T app when they could be working on a certain set of files that are actually important to the public. Buddy, it sounds like he just Googled something and found this. I mean, if it's just on some Firebase public storage, and this type of information was on it, I really feel like there's gonna be a huge lawsuit involved. Like, you're gonna see advertised.
Well, now we know. The T app, an absolute failure. Yeah, it was just public information. What do you do with that? What do we do with that? I think my take is very simple. Both sides, that should have not happened. Neither sides, it just should have not happened, in my opinion. This app should not exist. Any app like this, in fact, should not exist, whether for men or for women. Because if you're not ready to provide proper moderation for this, which would not happen, just let it be. Just let it be. Just don't touch it.